So let's talk now about how to set up an effective under 7 soccer training session. So we'll set up a training session that will take up 60 minutes. Explaining first that please, before you start, very, very important to realize that you have to be prepared for your training session beforehand. This is the age group where the players are really, really short on attention. So you need to keep things moving quickly. You need to be organized before they get there. So our training plan is going to be set up into 4 components. So a warm-up component, a technical component, a tactical component, and then also the end game. End game is very, very important because this reinforces everything that you've kind of gone through the whole training session and we've done. So let's take a look at the session that we've set up. For the warm-up exercise, coaching points would be think about how the players receive the ball. So as the pass is coming and they receive it with the inside of the foot, receive it, turn and open up, and then making that pass forwards now. So you're looking at that movement where the ball is coming, they're receiving it, turning the open foot, and then making the forward pass. The first warm-up component for the U7 age group is a combination passing and first touch into space warm-up training. This exercise, we've set it up with the distances between all the cones. So from the red cone to the red cone is 10 meters. From the red to the blue is also 10 meters. And then from the blue to the blue, we have that 20 meters set up, so 20 steps. The 2 yellow cones, we've just set them 2 steps apart. So the exercise goes as follows. The player in the red passes to the first orange cone or the first red cone. They receive the ball, turn with it, take a few dribbles, touches, passes the ball to the blue cone where in our situation, the player in the yellow vest is staying, receive the ball with the inside of the right foot, dribble towards the 2 yellow gates with the right foot, and when they get to the cones with the 2 yellow cones, they make a pass with the right foot to the player on the blue. Player receives the ball with the right foot, dribbles back towards the back of the line on the orange. So in this scenario, we start out first with just the right foot. All the passes, all the first touch, how the players receive the ball, or with the inside of the right foot. And you do this for the first 2 minutes. So they're receiving the ball with the right, passing with the right, working on each cone where they receive the ball, explain to them how they receive the ball with the inside of the foot. So they turn, attack that space. So they're taking that touch in the forwards movements. Do this for 2 minutes, take a break, then we stretch the quads, the hamstrings, the groins, go through all the dynamic stretches, not more than 1 minute. Get back up. Now we can flip this exercise to the left side now. So now we do the same exercise, but it's reflected where now everything is done with the left foot. So the player starts out from the red cone, passes the ball now with the inside of the left foot towards the player on the red cone. They receive the ball with the inside of the left foot, take a turn into the space, take 1 or 2 dribbles, makes a pass towards the player on the blue cone. In our situation, we're in the yellow vest. They take a touch with the inside of the left foot, receive the ball going into the space, dribble all the way till they get to the 2 yellow cones. In movement, make a pass with the inside of the left foot while they're approaching the 2 yellow cones to the player on the other side who takes a touch with the inside of the left foot, dribbles towards the space to the back of the line. So now you've done the left foot with this exercise. With this warm-up exercise, there's things that you can look at or things that you can add to it. So we do that for 2 minutes, take a break, stretch the quads, the hamstrings, the groins, the calves. Just even if they're 6-year-old, their muscles are not growing, but you're trying to get the players used to this methodology of always stretch in the warm-up phase. It's a dynamic, so they're moving not more than 1 minute. Then we take a rotation, we switch back again to the right side. So now we receive the ball with the outside of the right foot. Next point is you're thinking about the players that they check away, and then they're running forwards to come in to meet the ball. So you're working on that timing, checking away, coming back to meet the ball. So the pass comes in, player receives the ball with the outside of the right foot, takes a turn, passes the ball with the right foot to the blue cone, player in the blue cone receives the ball with the outside of the right foot, turns with the ball, attacks the 2 yellow cones, full speed. When they get right before they get to the yellow cones, they make a pass with the inside of the right foot to the player, the blue, who receives the ball with the outside of the right foot, turns and dribbles to the back of the line. Continue that process. So now you've kind of set up right, you receiving with the outside of the right foot, dribbling with the right foot. Now we do that for 2 minutes. Take a break. While they are stretching the quads, the hamstrings, the groins, you can loosen up the shoulders, the waist. Switch the line after 1 minute. Now we're doing everything with the left foot again. Passes the ball with the left foot. Now they receive the ball with the inside, with the outside of the left foot. Turn with it. Take 1 or 2 dribbles with the left foot. Make a pass with the left foot. The player now receiving the ball in the blue cone receives it with the outside of the left foot. Turns with the ball around. Attacks the 2 yellow cones full speed. Right before they get to the yellow cones, make a pass with the left foot to the player on the other side. They receive the ball with the outside of the left foot, turn with it, and attack that space. So in this example, we've switched one time, we've gone one time with the right foot, switched to the left, to the right. So you can see how we set up the exercises. We just basically switched the 2 yellow-orange cones from one side of the 2 yellow cones to the other. So in this exercise, you can actually set it up right away so the 2 cones are on both sides with the red, or you just rotate it after the break. Different variations, you can actually stay on one side and do both exercises with the right, switch over the cones to the other side, and then do both exercises with the left. And how you feel comfortable with your players, explaining it to them. But make sure you're doing the coaching points at the stations. So just kind of rotate with the ball as it goes through. So a few rotations. 1 rotation, you stand on the first orange cone, explain to the players how they receive the ball there. You get to go through everyone one time, go to the blue cone. Same thing, talk to everyone as they come through the blue cone, how you want them to see, to correct how they attack that space, because we've set this warm-up exercise at different angles. So they're learning how to receive the balls, one from the red cone, 90 degrees, at the blue cone at a 45-degree angle, and then back to the blue cone at a 90-degree, but the pass is now coming from a dribble. The first technical component for the under 7 age group is a double pass shooting exercise and first touch. So in this exercise, the player, in the distances we've set up, is from the blue cone to the first orange cone, you're about 5 steps. From the first orange cone to the second orange cone, you're about 3 steps out. So you're from the blue to the second orange cone, you're 8 steps, is the distance that we're working at. The blue player passes the ball to the red player, who checks back, makes a 1-touch pass back to them. They pass the ball back to the player in the red, who then takes the touch and attacks that space into going towards the goal. In our scenario, we've had a goalkeeper in there. You don't have to have a goalkeeper, and actually I recommend not using a goalkeeper at the U7 age group, so you don't have to worry about who's getting hit with the soccer ball, who's going to be in goal. Everyone wants to go in goal. If you have a designated goalkeeper, then great. But for this exercise at this age group, I would recommend bringing all the players out, work with them on the field avenue, that when they take the shot, they just run, catch the ball, and bring it back. And the exercise is not them scoring. The focus is how they receive the ball, how they turn and attack that space. And that's what we're trying to coach. So it's the blue player makes a pass to the player checking in from the orange cone. They make a double pass back. Blue player passes it back to them. You're trying to keep everything 1 touch, so it's moving fast. And then they take that 1 touch into the space. Attack the goal, take a shot. I recommend few ways you can do this. You can have the blue players on one side, the red players on one side, and make it into a competition. They stay in their areas until you give, it's about a 4 minutes episode, and then you take a break for a minute, switch the sides, and then you attack again. This way you kind of get the red team against the blue team. They kind of see the intensity. You're keeping score. Red scores, blue scores, 5-5, 6-5, 7-5, and you get the excitement going for them. So they start learning how to keep track of the game, and then the essential of football, which is scoring, which is one team's ahead, one team's trying to catch up. This passive, aggressive, we're competing, but we're enjoying and we're having fun together as a team, and complement and try to build and learn it at the same time. So the coaching points here are: how do they receive the ball? Make sure that their first touch is taking that touch into the space. Make sure the players passing the ball, when they pass it, they're running towards the ball and they're running through the ball, so that the ball is always in motion. Same thing when they pass it back. They just make that 1 touch, and they're always in motion, always motion. Try not to stop the ball. The second tactical component for the under 7 age group is a 2v2 defending and attacking exercise. In this scenario, we have the two blue cones about 20 steps apart, and the two orange cones about 20 yards, 15 steps also away from the blue, more central. And their parts in the middle are 7 by 7 yards, 7 steps apart from each other. So it's creating a triangle if you're looking from that aspect. The exercise we have in our scenario, we have a keeper in there. If you don't have a designated keeper, I would recommend also don't put a keeper in goal. Let the players just get used to attacking, scoring in goal, coming back. You can stand in there as a coach, but better just get them used to the 2v2 situations, what we're working at, and not the actual goalkeeper technique of what we're working at. So player in the blue passes the ball out to the players in purple. They start attacking 2v2. When they score, we rotate. The defending team becomes offense. Team that attacks picks up the ball, goes back to the back of the line to defend. Here you can start talking about your defensive shape, how you want the two players to play. Are they standing with each other? Are they playing against defending each player? Each player has one player to defend, or are they combining together where they're working in zone? At the U7 age group, it's easy just to tell them work and defend just one player. The player on the left takes the player on the left, player on the right takes the player on the right, and stay with that movement tracking. Reason why you would like that at this early age is the tendency for the players at this age is just to always run towards where the ball is. And you want to get them to start identify where the player is that they're responsible for and work with where that player is moving on defense. And then on offense, they just go on offense and they have their defensive, offensive responsibilities also that they have to train. And you can talk about that when they're attacking now. So when it's a 2v2, then you say, okay, do you want to do the overlapping run, which is a word that they're going to come into at this age group? Or are they just checking away and playing a combination pass, a give and go, and the pass is getting played through the defense to attack the goal? Thank you for watching this episode on how to coach a under 7 soccer team effectively in a 60-minute training session. Hope you enjoyed this session. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to Ask Coach Matthew for weekly updates and tips.